So this is a prophetic dream that I had about Paula White and Zachary Timms and some other pastors that I'm not going to name. Years ago, my auntie Regina was hosting a all-women's prayer conference. And I was set to be one of the people to lead intercessory prayer. All praises be to the Most High, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's one of the areas that I'm highly gifted in. And so the night before the prayer conference, I didn't really get a lot of sleep. I was up praying and I was preparing. Because I knew that outside of intercessory prayer, I was going to have to lay hands and work the altar. I went to sleep and I vividly remember being in a cave underground. And on one side of the cave, it was a wall. So on that side of the cave, it was like souls. There weren't bodies, but it was souls. And you just hear crying out. And then on this side of the cave, I saw Paula White. I saw Zachary Timms, and at that time I didn't know who Zachary Timms was by name or anything like that. And I saw a couple other pastors, apostles, prominent preachers. And I just remember seeing Pastor Zachary Timms in a dream, and he looked so sad and he looked so defeated. Paula White looked terrified, looked absolutely terrified, and you just hear the souls crying out for help, crying out to either pass on or feeling like they are in a place where they don't belong, or they know they are going somewhere where they don't want to see. But Pastor Zachary Timms, he was so sad. He was so sad, and he was confused, and he was hurt, and he was feeling betrayed. So when I woke up from that dream, mind you, I knew who Paula White was. I remember telling my mama, like, I had a dream about Paula White and some other pastor and all this other stuff. So when I went to my auntie's prayer service, my auntie ended up laying hands on me because I had given a lot out and I needed to be restored. I had given a lot out. And as soon as my auntie touched me, she jumped back and she said, "Oh my God, you've been to hell." And I said, "Oh, she saw my dream." And it I'm not gonna say it scared her, but I don't know what other word to use. And I don't follow my auntie on here, but I'm actually tag her in this video for her to verify that this happened. And so a couple of years ago, I think maybe 2 years ago, with some things resurfacing about Zachary Timms and his death, I text my daddy, and I'm gonna actually screenshot that and put it on here. I text my daddy and I was like, "Hey, what's the pastor who passed away, Zachary Timms, woo, woo, woo." Because now I'm researching and I'm like, okay, let me really figure this out. And Zachary Timms indeed was and is tied to Paula White. And the reason that I'm making this video is because people are up in arms about Paula White being called pastor to the president. My auntie Loretta Hall, Pastor Loretta Hall in New Jersey, reposted it on Facebook and stated that the black church had basically emboldened Paula White. And this is absolutely true. The Apostolic Pentecostal movement has always had white women and white men in it. There is the UPC. I think it's the Universal Pentecostal Church that a lot of white churches are a part of. Evangelist Catherine, I don't want to say her last name wrong, was known for laying hands and healing and deliverance and things of this nature. What begins to happen when black people invite white people to the cookout, we forget that they're still white people at their core. If they are not teaching the true identity of the Hebrews of the Bible, if they are not providing historical context to call themselves Gentiles, there's just some pecking orders that begins. It's a caste system in the spirit realm. And I know a lot of y'all are going to quote the apostate according to the book of Acts, Paul, that states there is no Jew or no Greek or no Gentile. I want to begin to let you know that the Gentiles are literally described as the northern and southern kingdom Israelites when they were split into two separate kingdoms. The Gentile nations are also known as the Arabic people groups. And so when the kingdom that lasts forever was reestablished in around 629 AD, that's when you had the northern and the southern kingdom and these Arabic people groups being regathered back then. Every nation has their own God. And when someone comes in to serve the God of the Israelites in these Arabic nations, it's a conversion process that must take place. But we too wrapped up and tied up into tricks, schemes, and gimmicks. Any woman that would begin to take over a church that should have been handed down to Zachary Tim's ex-wife, whom assisted in building that ministry regardless of her marital status with that man. It's just janky subjects. But I just want to say that I saw Paula White in the very pits of the grave eons ago. And now I know why.